So here we have Mr. James Davis Cook into the hopefully first halibut of the weekend, of the week, coming on the last day, and it's screamed off.
He's going! Norway, baby! Rubbish weather all week. Haven't even had the camera out, it's been so bad.
Literally couldn't even get the camera out. And it looks like hopefully this might be a good fish. Let's just hope James can keep on top of it. Yours is going as well. Right, boys and girls, I think I'm going to have to put the camera down here to get the gaff. Oh, it's alright, the lines are tangled up. The lines are tangled up. Listen to that line sing, James.
I know. Can't even see the chocolate yet. Come on. Come on.
He's nodding away.
Oh, he's going again.
He's going again. You've got a battle on your hands here, son. He's going up the tide now. That's gotta.
Body's shaking.
That's got to be a good fish.
Thanks, when you get that leader up over here.
Yeah. Come on. There's a shock leader.
Yes, we can see the leader knot. Leader on the reel, James, is it? Right, it looks a good fish. Whoa! Look at that! Look at the size of that! Oh my days! Excuse the shoddy camera work, folks. We didn't even have time to get a tripod out. Jelly all over. Look at the size of that fish. Careful it don't flap and hit your rods.
Oh, what a beast.
What a beast. What we reckoning, Mr. Cook?
I have no idea. All I know is I'm knackered.
Gave you the run around, didn't he?
Shaking like a leaf. What a fish. Pure muscle. Oh.
Look at that.
Woo. Let me just put this rod out of the way.
Well then guys, we're over in Bodo in Norway, and as you can see, Mr. Cook has caught a beast, and I mean a beast.
It is huge.
47.2 was it? Yeah. When we took the sling off. We've had a really hard week. We haven't been able to get the camera out at all in the last 5 days. We're on the final day of our week-long trip, and luckily the rain's held off just enough. We've got a bit of sunshine today, and although we've still got the wind, we've managed to get out. We've managed to actually get the camera out because we haven't got the horizontal rain and sleet and gales, and it's paid off, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, I am absolutely made up. I didn't really know what to expect. To be honest, I was sort of going home thinking we're going to have a bust. We've had some pretty good fish. I had a 9-pound coley second cast. And yeah, and you've had some really good cod as well. You've had cod to £9.
Well, cod to £9. I wouldn't say they're really good by Norway standards, but
good
by this week's standards, it was really good.
Rich came out never having caught a cod off the shore.
No, exactly. So, yeah, but hold her up. I don't think you can do too much holding that big stuff. Just pure muscle. Pure muscle.
It's got to be 7-8 inches thick and probably 4 feet long.
Absolute brute. Absolute brute.
It is a beast.
Give them a really good fight as well. Sorry about the shoddy camera work, which you'll have probably just witnessed. We literally hadn't even got the camera gear out, had we?
No, first cast.
First cast, and all of a sudden his rod just went absolutely singing, and then we were rushing around trying to get other rods in and trying to get the camera sorted to show you all what was going on. But yeah, fantastic fish, mate. Well done.
What a fish.
Right, my turn now. I need one. Let's crack on. Well, hi there guys, welcome to another episode. We're in Bodo, Norway, and it's cold.
It's very cold.
It's pretty freezing. It's not the worst weather we've had. In fact, this is the best weather we've had by a long way.
By a long way.
Still a fair bit of wind.
Yeah.
But the rain has finally desisted, and yeah, it's just freezing. I put my Twix down earlier on the rocks, and that was a big mistake. It's frozen solid. Crack my teeth. You might be able to tell it's been a long week. We're a bit delirious with it all, aren't we, to be fair?
We've fished hard, mate, haven't we?
We've fished really, really hard all week in some awful conditions that, to be fair, they weren't really fishable.
No.
Being honest, we've battled on through and found shelter wherever we could, haven't we?
That's it.
But yeah, we've got a little bit of footage taken on the phones of horizontal rain, thunder and lightning, hailstorms. It's just been, yeah, horrific. Not much good, and that's really badly affected the fishing, which is a shame. But we've managed to get out today, haven't we?
Yeah.
And finally crack the camera out. Thank God. And yeah, James got amongst the fish.
Yes.
We got down onto the mark, and straight away he was on the spinning gear because it looked likely, and smashed out a lovely coley, didn't you?
Yeah, but I didn't even weigh it like a fool. I just held it and then put it back, but
had to be pushing doubles, didn't it?
Yeah, I would have said
probably,
9.
Yeah,
9.
probably about
It gave me a really good scrap on that Nomura rod.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah, good. I think, to be fair, those Nomura rods have been brilliant.
Yeah, they've got loads of backbone.
The lure fishing that we've managed to do, and the fact that they can punch those bigger lures out when you need them. But I mean, to be fair, we've been using little 40 gram.
Yeah,
they're actually Nomura lures as well. Little 40 gram orange ones today, and you would think a rod that's designed to chuck 150 would struggle. But I mean, it's sending them absolutely singing, isn't it, to the horizon? So
flying.
Yeah, but no, it was a good scrap on that. It's been a wonderful experience, been a great trip, but we've still got a few hours daylight in us today now. But I think you've been lucky with that big halibut.
Oh yeah, I was made up with that.
I mean, to be fair, we've all worked hard to get a fish, and I'm just relieved that you know, between the group you've managed to pull that one in, because otherwise it was going to have been a pretty disappointing trip, really, if I'm honest. I think,
but like to be fair, Simon both said it only takes one fish to make the trip, doesn't it?
Yeah, very true. I managed a cod out earlier in the week, about £9.4, which I was really pleased with. That was on the bait. And then I managed a coley about £7 as well, fishing literally right down the side of the jetty with half a bluey on, and that gave me a good scrap.
Screamed off, didn't it?
Absolutely screamed off. And again, on the little Nomura, I'm using the what's it called, the blue one.
It's right there.
Yeah, I can't remember what's it called. See if I can read that. Pop-in Special, that's the one. popping special up to 150 grams it'll cast, so it's nice and short, and yeah, it really gave me some stick, and that was the Nomura Aichi reel as well, the SW 4,500.
I like that handle.
The handle is
that big, punchy, bulky handle to hold on to.
Well, yeah, it's nice when you can't feel your fingers. Yeah, it works really well. So, but yeah, that gave me a good scrap. Again, none of this, unfortunately, been caught on camera because, I mean, literally, if we'd have put the camera on the tripod,
it would have blown off.
It would have blown clean over, and the rain has just been driving for most of the week, and where it's not been rain, it's been sleet coming in just as hard. But that was great fun. So we had a little bit of fun on that. Unfortunately, yesterday I had another run similar to that one, but I mean, that really screeched, didn't it, James?
Yeah. You can hear it from the other end of the jetty.
By the time I got to it and picked it up, because you know, normally you'd sit and hold your rod and wait for the bites, but they were so few and far between, and we're really baiting up the area. But they were coming at a rate of sort of one every 4 or 5 hours, really, just sort of passing fish. So I was putting the rod down on the drag, and it absolutely screamed off. And by the time I managed to get to it, it had gone round a stanchion post a couple of times, and just absolute nightmare. So unfortunately, I've lost that one. But I think it certainly felt a better fish for the 3.5 seconds that I had hold of it. I know it's easy to say that.
Do you know what I think would be great for that sort of fish? Is a bait runner on the back. So you could have a light bait runner, just literally turn the handle, and you can lock into the fish.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Because you know, like you're trying to hold the side of the spool and tying it up. It's a right nightmare.
Yeah, no, I think for that type of thing, if you are, I mean, normally from what I've been told, not experience, you know, you're sort of sat there, and as soon as you put the bait in, you know, getting fish go for it when you've got them feeding up. But unfortunately, we haven't found it like that. No. So I mean, normally that setup would be ideal, but if you're not fishing with rod in hand, it is a bit of a faff to try and cup the spool to slow the fish down and then get the drag on. But it's all experience. It's a learning curve. It's James and myself's first trip out to Norway. I think it's safe to say we'll both be back.
Yep.
Without a doubt. There was some lads that we know came out the week before us. They had a reasonably good trip, caught quite a lot of fish, and I know they didn't have the best weather. But
I don't think it was anything like
I don't think it was anything like ours. I mean, any normal circumstances,
you wouldn't have even bothered. If you were at home, and you were in Devon or somewhere a holiday, you wouldn't have bothered.
Yeah,
just no chance. But
I mean, literally, we had times where the wind was coming across us, or sort of, you know, diagonally into our face. And I sit there watching James wind a cast up with a 7-ounce lead and a really small bait, because we were having to fish small baits. That was all you could get out. And you see it sail off the first 40 to 50 yards, and it's going out at a nice angle, and then you see it start blowing back towards you and across the ground. I mean,
a cast that would have gone 110, 120 yards was going
30 or 40. Yeah.
Literally just go out and just come back in like this against the wind. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard, but it's been a fantastic trip.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we haven't ended up with a massive video for you guys to watch. Certainly a bit lacking in action, and obviously we would have liked to have come out and got a week's worth of footage for you all to sort of sit down and watch and enjoy with us, but wasn't to be on this occasion. But as I say, we've got a few hours of daylight left today, so hopefully we can get back amongst the fish again. But if nothing else, it's James that smashed it with that lovely big halibut. Fantastic to see.
Absolutely.
And real achievement, really, for, you know, very lucky for your first halibut to be that size. I think you'll be working quite hard in years to come to beat that.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so.
But I would be very lucky.
I would have been happy with 1/2 that size.
Yeah.
Or even just double figures, 10, 12 pound would have been.
Yeah.
I had a little 6 pound on the first day, and I thought, we're going to be in for a good trip here.
Yeah.
Halibut on the first day, you know, I know it was only basically a tadpole, but yeah. But the only thing I can compare it to is a tope. Just the way it runs. And
it's so powerful.
You can just feel every tail go, you know, flick going.
I wouldn't know. I haven't caught one, have I? I don't know. What I did manage to catch, ladies and gents, is horrible cold.
Oh yeah.
So if my voice doesn't quite sound like it normally would, that's because I've been. James excellently brought it over on the plane for us.
I'm fine now.
He come with the tail end of a cold, and within a day or two, I'd managed to pick it up, and so I've been feeling really sorry for myself. And yeah, it's not been great, has it?
Not nice.
But never mind.
Nice.
Never mind. We've done our best. So anyway, hopefully this won't be us signing off, because hopefully we will get amongst the fish again before we go. But if not, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you the next time.
See you next time.
So I just want to talk to you a little bit today about the setup I'm using for doing some lure fishing while we're out here in Bodo in Norway. This is the Nomura popping special lure rod. It's 7 foot 10 inches long with a casting weight of 150 grams. The reason I've chosen this rod, and the guys at Nomura have very kindly let me use it while I'm out here on this trip, is because it will cast up to 150 grams, and I've put it to the test, and it really will cast 150 grams quite happily. That said, it still remains quite sensitive, especially when using braid. I'm using a little 40 gram spinner here at the moment. These have been really good on the coalies for us while we've been out on this trip, with the orange belly and the black top. This is actually a Nomura lure as well, although I don't know the name. I will try and find the link for the video. So it is sensitive enough, and it punches these little 40 gram lures out really well as well. The reel, again, another Nomura. It's the Aichi SW 4500. Now these are saltwater prepared, so it's all sealed drag systems, and they're really nicely made, really robust. I've sort of abused this a little bit over the week, to be honest, with running around trying to gaff fish and sort bits and pieces out, and the weather, it's taken a couple of tumbles, I'm not going to lie. And yeah, it's just really well made, really strong. It's probably not the lightest spinning reel, but you need a good capacity. Some of the marks we're fishing here, we went to one the other day just off the end of the jetty that you're fishing, is 100 meters deep. So I've obviously had to go for a reasonably large spool with a 20-pound braid there, and I've filled that right up to the max, and then I've just got a short length of fluorocarbon rubbing leader there as well. So nice big power handle on it, really good when you can't feel your fingers in the -3 as it is right now. So yeah, let's give it a few flicks and see if we can get some fish. Well then guys, here we go. Nice little cold fish caught on the Nomura rod and reel with the good old faithful orange and silver and black Nomura 40 gram lure. You have to kind of work through these. This one's about £1, but as James proved earlier before we had the camera, you can get them up to 9, well James's was 9, and they grow well into double figures. So you've just got to work through these ones, get hold of the bigger ones, and I'll see if I can get one of those out for you. But let's get this one back to fight another day.
And as you can see, we're wearing Reed equipment. The weather this week has been horrendous. And when I mean horrendous, we're talking thunderstorms, snow, sleet, 60-mile-an-hour gusts, horrendous. And to be fair, I have come home every single day bone dry.
Yeah, literally guys, I cannot emphasise enough the conditions out here have been really challenging.
Yeah.
You'll see some of the footage, quite literally horizontal rain and sleet and 60-70 mile an hour winds, and no word of a lie, we've got the full suits,
yeah,
we've got the thermal undergarments,
yeah,
both the top section, the bottom, the socks and the hat as well, and literally every single day We have got back to the apartment, stripped off in the drying room, and we have been absolutely dry as a bone, genuinely dry as a bone underneath. That's one thing I can't emphasise enough, is that when you're out in these sorts of conditions, and it's the same as you would get back home in the UK, although probably quite a lot colder out here, it's fair to say, the most important thing is staying dry. You can always put layers on to keep yourself warmer, you can always take layers off if you're getting too hot. Once you're wet, you're wet. And this stuff really has proven, it has been put through its paces. We've been here for 7 days, and this is the first dry day that we've had. So we've had 6 days of horrific weather, and this stuff's been brilliant.
Not let us down.
It's been absolutely fantastic.
And then what we've basically got underneath is bib and braces. We've got a pocket in here to keep your hands warm. One thing I didn't bring, which I would do again, is bring hand warmers to put in here on a cold day.
Yeah, definitely.
I think they would make a huge difference. But it's all fleece lined on the inside, and then double base layers, top and bottoms, and thermal socks. And I can't say that we haven't been cold, because that would be a lie, because we haven't. When it's been the weather we've had, you don't feel like getting up and moving, and you know what I mean, you just literally sat there with your back to it and just huddled up. But now we've been moving today, and at one point I had to take a layer off just to actually cool down. But these have been a fantastic piece of kit this week, absolutely top. Yeah, definitely. I think the thing to emphasise with the whole warmth thing excuse me, is that these are lightweight garments. They're incredibly flexible. Obviously I'm a big guy. Reed have actually made this to fit my sizes. I asked them to give me plenty of room in it for putting lots of layers underneath, which they've done. But as we're moving with angling as a sport, we're moving all the time, we're casting, we're twisting, you know, we're bending up and down, we're on our knees, we're sliding down rocks on our bums, you know, we're always moving. And because this is so hard wearing and it's stretchy and durable, it's not designed to be one of these huge thick flotation suits. You do need layers underneath, and you need to dress appropriately for the conditions. The thermal base layers are absolutely fantastic, but you've got to have the right stuff for what you're going to be doing on over the top of that. And then the jacket is that final barrier to keep the wind off, to keep the rain out. If you're going to go out, buy a base layer and just put the jacket on, we're in -3 at the moment, you're going to be cold. Unless you're constantly active and running a marathon, you're going to be cold. What you need to do is put the correct stuff on underneath, and then, as James says, if you can't keep active and keep moving, more of it. If you're going to be active and moving, less of it. But it's so flexible and easy to wear. It's forgiving, isn't it? So forgiving. Like,
it is.
Bending over, literally the knees, everything, it just flexes around you. You don't feel restricted at all, do you?
No, not at all. No. Not at all. And especially for me, as I say, I am a big guy. Normally with salopettes that I would wear, I would be waddling around like a penguin and getting up and down. You know, there just isn't enough bend or give. These are absolutely fantastic. Whatever I want to do, they bend and they move with me, and that's a real selling feature. We get asked on Sea Angling Adventures a lot, or I do. You know, obviously being a bigger guy, 6 foot, 24 stone, what clothing do I pick? What clothing do I wear? Where do I find stuff that fits and allows me to go climbing up and down rocks and, you know, sliding around on cliffs and things like that as required? Well, the answer now is this.
Yeah, definitely. I'm absolutely made up, to be honest. Yes. I've got an IMAX suit at home, but this knocks the spots off it, because it gets to a point where it looks after you for so long, but then the rain seeps in through the seams. All these seams have been welded, so there's no actual physical place for water to get into. They're 100% waterproof.
Yeah, genuinely.
That's the biggest thing that you can say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And obviously when you do it up as well, which the first time today we haven't had to. Yeah. But when you put the hood on, in fact James can probably show better because his is done up. Yeah. But it comes up nicely.
It just literally all you've got is your eyes and your nose just poking out.
And then what you've also got round the back, if James turns around, you may or may not be able to see, is you've got straps here for the hood on a clip, where you can tighten it up so you can almost strap that hood to your head so it doesn't blow off in the wind. It's a neat little feature. The other one that James didn't show as well is in the front of the salopettes. There's a fully sealed mobile phone pocket as well.
Yeah, just on the inside here.
And again, nice little feature, easily accessible. So yeah, all in all, fantastic stuff. Really, it's something. It's easy for us to recommend. We get asked to review a lot of stuff. Some things we do, some things we won't put our names to, but absolutely with all confidence. Yeah. This is the first time I've ever had waterproof clothing that you know, I can go out and get hammered all week long and come back bone dry every single day. So yeah, fantastic, cracking work, and it's safe to say that we're very happy to endorse this product. Definitely.
Right then guys, the rig I used on that halibut that we just caught earlier is basically a 7-ounce Namix lead, splashdown clip. I've got 100-pound 10 times Rovex, about 4 feet of it, 2 8mm beads and a Gemini pulley bead, a size 1 swivel, another length of line, an 8.0 Varivas BMX, and I think that's a 5.0 Chinook. And this here is probably 6.5 feet in total, and it's just a pulley rig. And then the bait up itself, we've got these stinking herring, frozen herring, and they are absolutely stinking. And my favourite part that I've been using, that I've had success with, is about a 4-inch split. Let's take his head off. Using the bottom half, which has got the guts, the roe, and everything else in. And it's absolutely humming. But this one is full of roe. So all I've been doing is putting the 8.0, just nicking it in. Still a bit frozen, but I'll just lay it on the top. Bait elastic. I've been doing is putting a top hook in the opposite way to the bottom and out the other side. Connecting that up. And there we have it. Pulley rig, good to go with a big piece of herring on it. And you're not needing to cast this to the horizon. 60, 70, 80 yards is absolutely fine, and you're in the fish. We're fishing into 50 meters of water today, so it's a big deep mark. We've had this big blow, and we've tried everything in between. From shallow water, we've done we did a mark yesterday or day before yesterday that was 100 meters deep, and we've just struggled everywhere we've been. But to be fair, we've had the first good day, and the fish seem to have come back on the feed, and to be honest, I think they've probably been pretty hungry as well, unless they've been hunting in deeper waters or whatever they've come across. But let's get this one out and see if we can get another fish. This is the end of our Norway adventure, I think, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I think we're gonna have 5-10 minutes doing a bit of shadding, just as we've got the Dipsy light.
Yeah.
And see if we can pull out a cod. And then, yeah, I think that's the end of Bodo.
Yeah.
2018 for us, mate, isn't it?
What a week. It's been so testing, and I think, to be honest, it makes it all the more sweeter.
For you.
Well, I didn't want to say it like that, but I'm made up. And to be honest, I was happy going home before today.
Yeah,
You know, it's a new country, it's a new style of fishing.
I mean, in fairness, joking aside, thank God for your fish today.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just fishing.
Yeah.
You know,
luck of the draw. That's all it was.
James was right in the middle. We're all fishing 2 rods. We've all got very similar baits out in the herrings and the blueies and cocktails and things like that. You know, there wasn't a lot in it. We're using the same rigs, and obviously it was something that James was doing today, whether it be he was casting that little bit further, or you know, leaving it that bit shorter, or maybe there was just a feature out there, or maybe he's just lucky.
I think it was just luck.
But
I think it was just luck.
To be fair, I mean, those 2 fish, we've had a really hard week.
It's been unreal.
And to be fair, you know, you've been there slogging away. I haven't been feeling. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, you know, I haven't been feeling too well. Some of it. It was very easy for me to hunker down and, you know, sort of feel a bit sorry for myself. Whereas you have just plugged away, and got the rewards today, mate. And fair play to you. It's been a fantastic end to the trip.
It has, yeah.
Couldn't have ended any better, really.
But
so
safe to say we're coming back, though.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But with a lot more knowledge, a lot more experience.
Yeah. Simon's been as good as gold looking after us, hasn't he?
Simon, the host, up where we're staying, he's just been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they have scratched their heads left, right and centre to find us a bit of shelter and somewhere to fish in the horrible conditions, but you just can't pick your weather, mate, can you?
No. You can pick your dates, but you can't pick your weather.
I mean, seriously, if we'd have had a week of this, I mean, it's been quite windy, very cold today.
But that's bearable, isn't it?
Yeah, the wind has been half what it's been the rest of the week.
Yeah, less, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. And it is fishable, and if we'd have had 5 or 6 days of this, I think we
would have smashed it.
Absolutely smashed it. Yeah, but definitely.
I think we can go home with our heads held high, though.
I think we've had a fantastic trip.
Yeah.
Great company, thoroughly enjoyable.
And the banter's been pretty good as well, hasn't it?
The banter's had to be good because the fishing at times has been so poor. But yeah, so that's us from Norway.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Till the next time.
Till the next trip.
Stay safe.